The text message came through while I was folding laundry in our bedroom. 6 weeks he'd been gone. 6 weeks of solo travel through Southeast Asia. Finding himself, he called it. I called it his 3rd international trip this year, but I'd been supportive. I thought I was being the cool girlfriend, the understanding partner who didn't cage her man in. My phone buzzed on the dresser. Video call. I picked it up, and there was Marcus, my boyfriend of 3 years, with some gorgeous tropical sunset painted behind him like a movie scene. His face filled the screen, and something about his expression made my hands go cold. "Hey, babe, how's everything?" I tried to sound casual, but my voice came out tight. He had this look, serious, like he was about to tell me someone died. "Listen, Jenna, I need to talk to you about something important." My stomach dropped so fast, I actually felt dizzy. I sat down on the edge of our bed, the bed we'd shared for 2 years since I moved into his place. "Okay, what's going on?" "I met someone here." He said it quickly, like ripping off a bandage. "We've been spending a lot of time together. I think we're in a situationship." I stared at the screen. My brain literally could not process what he'd just said. "You're in a what?" "A situationship. It's like, we're not quite dating, but we have this really deep connection. And I think that's why I wanted to talk to you, because it's complicated. I still love you, but I also have these feelings for her, and I need to be honest about my journey." The laundry basket sat at my feet. His t-shirts. I'd been folding his t-shirts while he was telling me about another woman, about his journey. "It's not complicated anymore," I heard myself say. My voice sounded strange, distant. "We're done." "Wait, what? You're breaking up with me now?" "You just told me you're seeing someone else." "It's not like that. It's a situationship, and I was trying to be honest with you instead of hiding it. Doesn't that count for something?" I felt something crack open inside me. Not my heart breaking. Something colder. Something that knew exactly what needed to happen next. "Sure, it counts as you being single now. Enjoy your trip, Marcus." I hung up. Then I blocked his number. For maybe 30 seconds, I just sat there staring at the pile of his laundry. Then I stood up and started moving. This is Revenge Stories, a home for quiet courage and true endings. If you feel my words, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Help us build this community so we can bring more interesting and exciting stories for you from around the world. Your help is much appreciated. Your voice matters here. Your story matters too. The apartment was his. I mean, technically. His name on the lease. He'd been living there for 4 years before I moved in. I'd been paying him rent, sort of. Cash here and there. Venmo when I remembered. Very casual. Nothing formal. We were in love. We were building a life together. Why did we need receipts and contracts? I pulled up the lease on his laptop. I still had his password. We'd always been open like that, transparent. His name only, just like I remembered. Then I started packing. My clothes went into my 2 big suitcases. My toiletries fit into a makeup bag and a small box. Books, laptop, my vintage camera collection that I'd spent years building. My jewelry box. The throw pillows I'd bought to make the place feel more like ours. The kitchen towels with the little lemons on them that I loved. The coffee maker I'd bought last Christmas because his old one was garbage. It took me about 4 hours to separate my life from his. 4 hours to pack up 2 years of living together. I called my best friend Alia. "I need your brother's truck, and I need you to not ask questions until we're done moving." "Done moving what?" "Ali, please." She heard something in my voice. "I'll be there in 40 minutes. By the time she arrived with her brother's pickup truck, I had everything stacked by the door. She took one look at the boxes and suitcases, then at my face, and said, "Where are we going?" "Your place, if that's okay. Just for a few days while I find something. We're going to stay as long as you need. Let's load up." We didn't talk about it while we moved my things. Her brother, David, helped us carry everything down 3 flights of stairs. They didn't ask, they just helped. When the apartment was empty of everything that was mine, I stood in the middle of the living room and looked around. 2 years. I'd lived here for 2 years. Cooked dinners in that kitchen, watched movies on that couch, made love in that bedroom, built what I thought was a future. All of it gone in 4 hours. I left my key on the kitchen counter, took a photo of it sitting there with my phone. Then I left. At Alia's apartment, I finally told her everything. The video call, the situationship, his honesty about his journey. Pop, are you serious? She was furious. He called you to tell you he's cheating? He called it a situationship. It's called cheating with a trendy name. What a piece of garbage. Her brother was setting up an air mattress in her living room for me. You want me to go back and do something to his car? He offered. Sugar in the gas tank? Eggs on the windshield? No. I surprised myself with how calm I sounded. I just want to be gone. But I wasn't calm. Not really. Lying on that air mattress that first night, staring at Aaliyah's ceiling, I felt something building inside me. Not sadness, not heartbreak. Something sharper. Something that tasted like rage and clarity mixed together. He'd called me, actually called me, to tell me he was seeing someone else. Expected me to what? Wait around while he figured out his feelings? Be understanding about his journey. My phone buzzed. A text from a number I didn't recognize. Jenna, it's Marcus. I'm using the hostel's phone. Why did you block me? We need to talk about this. I stared at the message. Then I typed back. I moved out. Don't contact me again. What do you mean you moved out? Your stuff is here. Not anymore. I took everything that was mine. We're done. You can't just leave. We need to talk in person. I'll be back in 2 weeks. There's nothing to talk about. You made your choice. I made mine. Babe, please. You're overreacting. It was just honesty. I was trying to do the right thing. The right thing. He thought calling me from another country to tell me about another woman was the right thing. I blocked that number too. Then I got a call from his mother. I'd always liked Patricia. She was warm, welcoming, treated me like family from the start. Jenna, honey, Marcus sent me a message. He says you broke up and moved out? That's right. But why? What happened? He called me from Thailand to tell me he's in a situationship with someone else. Silence. Then, he what? He met someone, started seeing her, called to tell me about it, said it was complicated. Oh, Jenna, oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I'm okay. Where are you staying? Are you safe? I'm with my best friend. I'm fine. You listen to me. You did the right thing. I love my son, but that was unacceptable. You deserve better than that. In a passage right after, I felt tears coming for the first time since the call. Thank you for saying that. It's an important comment. I mean it. You're a wonderful woman. Don't let him or anyone else make you think this was your fault. I mean it, you're a wonderful woman. Don't let him or anyone else make you think this was your fault. That's the last thing I want ever hearing from someone's mouth, unless it's someone else's. Strong, the next morning, I called my landlord from 2 years ago, the apartment building where I'd lived before moving in with Marcus. Strong. Hi, Mr. Chen. This is Jenna Whitmore. I used to rent unit 312. Jenna, yes, I remember. How can I help you? Strong. Do you have any units available? Actually, yes. A 1-bedroom just opened up. 3rd floor. It's a bit smaller than your old place. Can I see it today? By that afternoon, I'd seen the apartment and signed a lease. It was smaller, but it was mine. Just mine. My name on the lease. My decision. My space. First month's rent and security deposit wiped out most of my savings, but I didn't care. I needed something that was entirely mine. Moving day came 3 days later. Aaliyah and David helped me move my boxes from her place to my new apartment. It didn't take long. I didn't have much. This is a good space, Aaliyah said, looking around the empty living room. Fresh start energy. That's exactly what I need. My phone rang. Another unknown number. Against my better judgment, I answered. Jenna? It's Marcus. Stop blocking me. We need to talk. Strong. No, we don't. Strong. Yes, we do. I'm coming home early. Landing tomorrow night. I'll come straight to the apartment. Strong. I won't be there. Strong. What do you mean? Strong. I told you. I moved out. I have a new place. Strong. You got a new apartment in less than a week? Strong. Yes. Where? Strong. That's none of your business anymore. Strong. Jenna, come on. This is insane. We've been together for 3 years. You can't just disappear. Strong. I'm not disappearing. I'm moving on, like you did when you started your situationship. Strong. That's different. Strong. No, Martis, it's not. Goodbye. I hung up. Then I turned off my phone completely. Aaliyah ordered pizza and the three of us sat on my empty living room floor eating dinner with paper plates. No furniture yet. No TV. Just boxes and possibilities. You know he's going to keep trying, right? Aaliyah said. Let him try. What if he shows up here? He doesn't know where here is. David looked at me with respect. You're handling this like a boss. I'm handling this like someone who knows her worth, I corrected him. There's a difference. But alone that night, sleeping on the air mattress in my empty bedroom, I let myself feel it. The loss, the betrayal, the shock of how quickly 3 years could end. One phone call, one admission, everything gone. I'd supported him. I'd been understanding about his need for adventure, for solo travel, for finding himself. I'd been flexible and accommodating and cool about all of it. And the whole time, he'd been planning his exit strategy, meeting someone else, exploring his options. The journal pages Marcus's situationship girlfriend had showed me later proved that. But that part comes later. For now, I was just a woman lying on an air mattress in an empty apartment, rebuilding her life from scratch. Marcus came to Alia's building 2 days after he got back. She texted me, "Your ex is here pounding on my door. What do you want me to do?" Don't answer. He'll leave eventually. NPC. He's yelling through the door that he just wants to talk. He can want all he likes. NPC. And PPC. 20 minutes later, building manager threatened to call the cops. He left. He tried calling from different numbers. I blocked each one. He sent emails. I set up a filter to automatically delete anything from his address. Strong, he sent messages through Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn. I blocked him on every platform. NPC, he was persistent. I was more persistent. And PPC, and then things got interesting. NPC, his best friend called me, Tyler. We'd always gotten along. Jenna, hey, listen, Marcus asked me to reach out. And PPC, don't do this, Tyler. And PPC, just hear me out. He's really torn up about this. Good. That's cold. He started seeing someone else while we were together. What part of this makes me the cold one? He said it wasn't like that. He said he was confused and trying to be honest with you. He was honest, and I was honest back. We're done. That's it. He says you won't even talk to him. Correct. Come on, 3 years. That's got to mean something. It did mean something. Then he turned it into a situationship with someone else. Tyler sighed. You're really not going to give him another chance? Not even for a second. He really loved you, you know? Loved. Past tense. We agree on something. After I hung up, Alia brought me wine and takeout. Tyler called you? Yep. And then she poured us both generous glasses of wine. You know what I love about you right now? You're not wavering. You're not second-guessing. You just knew what you needed to do, and you did it. I don't feel strong. I feel numb. After I hung up, Alia brought me wine and takeout. Tyler called you? Yep. And then you're not ready. But I don't think that's what's happening here. I think you're protecting yourself while you heal. That's smart. Because underneath the numb, underneath the calm, I could feel something massive and painful waiting, and I wasn't ready to look at it yet. I started therapy the next week. Dr. Morrison, a woman in her 50s with kind eyes and a direct manner. "Tell me why you're here," she said in our first session. I told her everything. The video call, the situationship, how I'd moved out in 4 hours. How I'd blocked him everywhere. How I was living in a new apartment with nothing but an air mattress and boxes. "And how do you feel about all of this?" "Numb, mostly numb." That's a protective response, completely normal. Everyone keeps asking if I'm okay, if I'm sad. And I am, but not the way they expect. I'm not crying over him, I'm not missing him. I'm just empty. And period. You lost 3 years of your life to someone who betrayed your trust. That's significant trauma. And period. It doesn't feel like trauma. It feels like I'm just handling it. And period. Handling it is how we survive trauma. Later, we process it. Period. She was right, but I wasn't ready to process anything yet. I was still in survival mode. And period. I bought furniture, a bed frame and mattress from IKEA, a small couch from a thrift store, a kitchen table with 2 chairs, plates, silverware, towels, all the mundane things I'd left behind because they were his or too complicated to separate. Strong period. Starting over was expensive. My savings account looked sad and empty, but every purchase felt like reclaiming myself. This bed was mine. This couch was mine. This life was mine. Strong period. 2 weeks after I moved in, someone knocked on my door. I checked the peephole. "Marcus." I didn't open it. "Jenna, I know you're in there. Your car is in the parking lot. Please, just talk to me for 5 minutes. I stayed silent. "Come on. This is ridiculous. We're adults. We can have a conversation." I sat on my new couch and waited. "Fine. You want to play games? I need my stuff. You took things that belong to me." That got my attention. I opened the door, but kept the chain on. "What stuff?" He looked terrible. Thinner, tired, hair too long. "The coffee maker. That was mine. I bought that coffee maker last Christmas because your old one was broken." "Okay, fine. But what about the cast iron skillet?" "That was definitely mine." I only took things that were mine. "Can I just come in? We can go through everything. Figure out what belongs to who." "No." "Why are you being like this?" "Because we broke up. Exes don't hang out and sort through kitchen items." "We weren't just exes. We were building a life together. You destroyed that life when you started your situationship." He flinched. "I made a mistake. I know that now. She and I didn't work out. It was a stupid travel romance that didn't mean anything. That's not my problem. Jenna, please, I miss you. I miss us. Can we just try to work through this?" "No." "Why not?" "Because I don't want to. That's it?" "That's your reason?" Strong P. "That's all the reason I need. Goodbye, Marcus." Strong P. I closed the door. He stood there for another minute, then left. Strong P. My hands were shaking, not from fear, from adrenaline, from the satisfaction of holding my boundary and not giving in. Strong P. Aaliyah came over that night with wine and Thai food. Tyler told me Marcus showed up here. Strong P. How does Tyler know? Strong P. Marcus called him crying, said you wouldn't even talk to him. Good. He said Marcus is devastated, that the whole situationship thing crashed and burned. The girl found out he'd lied to her about being single. I looked up from my pad thai. What? Yeah, apparently he told her you two had broken up months ago. When she found out the truth, she dumped him immediately. So, he lied to both of us. Looks that way. I thought about that, how he'd called me to confess to a situationship, probably because he'd known she was about to find out the truth. How he'd framed it as honesty, as trying to do the right thing, when really, he'd just been trying to control the narrative before it blew up on him. "You okay?" Aaliyah asked. "I'm great, actually. Every time I learn something new, I'm more confident I made the right decision. Good, because there's more. More? Tyler said the girl showed him text messages. Marcus had been planning the whole thing. How he was going to break up with you after the trip. How he was using the situationship to transition out of your relationship. My chest felt tight. He planned it. Yeah, all of it. The video call confession. The honesty about his journey. It had all been calculated, planned, strategic. I'm going to be sick, I said. Aaliyah held my hair while I threw up in the bathroom. Then she helped me to my new bed and sat with me while I cried. Really cried. For the first time since it all happened. Not because I missed him, but because I'd been so thoroughly deceived. Because I'd loved someone who'd been planning to leave me while I was folding his laundry and supporting his dreams and being understanding about his need to find himself. I'm sorry, Aaliyah whispered. I'm so sorry. I gave him 3 years. I know. I moved into his place. I paid rent. I built a life there. And the whole time, he was looking for an exit. You couldn't have known. I should have known. There must have been signs. Stop. You're not doing this. You're not blaming yourself for someone else's lies. But I couldn't help it. I went through everything in my mind. Every trip, every late night, every time he'd been distant or distracted. Were those signs? Was I stupid for missing them? Dr. Morrison helped me work through it in our next session. This is a normal response to betrayal, she said. We search for clues we missed. We blame ourselves for not seeing it coming. But I should have seen it. Why? Was he coming home with lipstick on his collar? Hiding his phone? Acting suspicious? No. He was just Marcus, going on trips, living his life. Then you had no reason to suspect anything. You trusted him because that's what partners do. He violated that trust. That's on him, not you. It feels like it's on me. That's the trauma talking. Your brain is trying to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. It's trying to find control in a situation where you had none. She was right. I'd had no control. He'd made all the decisions, started the situationship, planned the breakup. I'd just been living my life, thinking we were building something together. The anger came after the sadness, white-hot and clarifying. I was furious, not sad anymore, furious. He'd wasted my time. 3 years of my life. 3 years I could have spent finding someone who actually valued me. And then he had the audacity to show up at my door, wanting to work through it, wanting another chance. No! I channeled the fury into building my new life. Got a promotion at work that I'd been too comfortable to pursue before. Started taking boxing classes at the gym Aaliyah went to. Painted my apartment walls a color I'd always loved, but Marcus had hated. Made decisions based solely on what I wanted. My apartment started feeling like home. Small, but mine. Every corner of it reflected my choices, my taste, my life. Marcus's mother called me one more time. Jenna, honey, how are you? I'm good, Patricia. Really good. I'm glad to hear it. I wanted to call because Marcus told me he went to see you. He did. He said you wouldn't talk to him. That's right. Good, she said it firmly. That's good. I wanted to make sure you weren't letting him manipulate you into giving him another chance. I'm not. Good, because I talked to him. I got the truth out of him, about how he'd been planning this, about the lies. I'm ashamed of him. Patricia, you don't have to. Yes, I do. He's my son and I love him, but what he did was wrong. You deserve better. I wanted you to know that. After we hung up, I felt something shift. His own mother was on my side. Not because she didn't love him, but because she knew what he'd done was indefensible. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't overreacting. I was responding appropriately to an inappropriate situation. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks. 3 weeks after Marcus showed up at my door, things escalated. I came home from work to find a letter taped to my apartment door. Not in an envelope, just a folded piece of paper with my name on it. I took it inside and read it. Jenna, I know you don't want to talk to me, but I can't just let 3 years end like this. We built something beautiful together. Yes, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. But don't I deserve a chance to make it right? Don't we owe it to what we had to at least try? I'm not asking you to take me back immediately. I'm just asking you to talk to me, to hear me out. I'm different now. This whole experience changed me. I see clearly now that you're the one I want to be with. Please, just give me one conversation. Marcus. I read it twice. Then I threw it away. He didn't get to decide what we owed each other. He didn't get to show up and demand my time, my energy, my emotional labor to help him feel better about what he'd done. Strongly, the letters kept coming. Once a week, like clockwork, each one more desperate than the last. Strongly, I didn't respond to any of them. Strongly, then he tried a different approach. A package arrived. I almost didn't open it, but curiosity won. Inside was a photo album. Printed pictures from our 3 years together, trips we'd taken, dinners we'd cooked, lazy Sundays on the couch, a whole relationship in glossy paper. The note inside read, "Remember what we had, remember why it mattered." I'll admit that one hurt. Looking at those pictures, I could see myself. Happy, in love, trusting, not knowing that while some of these photos were being taken, he was already looking for the exit. I put the album in my closet. Couldn't throw it away yet, but couldn't look at it either. Aaliyah was furious when I told her, "He's love-bombing you. This is classic manipulation." I know what it is. Then why do you look sad? Because I'm mourning who I thought he was. The person in those pictures doesn't exist. Maybe he never did. Exactly. So throw the album away. I will. Just not yet. Tyler called me again a few days later. Jenna, Marcus asked me to give you something. No. Just listen. No, Tyler, I'm serious. Stop being his messenger. We're broken up. It's done. He needs to move on. He can't move on. He loves you. He loved the idea of having me as a backup plan. That's not the same thing. That's harsh. It's honest, and I'm done protecting his feelings about it. Tell him to stop contacting me. The letters, the packages, all of it. It needs to stop. He's just trying. I don't care what he's trying to do. Tell him to stop, or I'll get a restraining order. I wouldn't actually get a restraining order. It hadn't risen to that level. But the threat worked. The letters stopped. For about 3 weeks, everything was quiet. I started to relax, started to believe he'd finally gotten the message. Then my boss called me into her office. Jenna, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest with me. My stomach dropped. Okay. Did you have a boyfriend named Marcus? Yes, we broke up a few months ago. He called here, said he was concerned about you, that you'd been going through a hard time and he wanted to make sure you were okay at work. I felt my face go hot. He what? He called your work, asked to speak to me specifically, introduced himself as your ex-boyfriend, said he was worried about your mental state. Strong. Oh my God. Jenna, I told him it was inappropriate to call someone's workplace about their personal life, and I hung up. But I need to know if there's something going on here that I should be aware of. Strong. He's harassing me. I've blocked him everywhere, so now he's trying to reach me through other people, including apparently my job. Strong. Strong. She nodded slowly. Do you feel safe? Yes. I've blocked him everywhere, so now he's trying to reach me through other people, including apparently my job. Strong. He's harassing me. Maybe he's trying to reach me through other people, including apparently my job. Cross that line. What was next? I called a lawyer that afternoon. I didn't want a restraining order yet, but I wanted to know my options. Document everything, the lawyer said. Keep the letters. Screenshot any messages that get through. Keep a log of every contact attempt. If it continues or escalates, you'll have grounds for a protective order. I started a file. Letters, emails that had made it through my filters, notes about when he had shown up at my door or called my workplace. It filled up quickly. Then things got worse. I went on a date. First one since Marcus, a guy named Jordan I'd met at a networking event. He was nice, easy to talk to. We went to dinner, had a good time, decided to meet up again. After our second date, Jordan walked me to my car in the parking garage. We were saying goodnight when Marcus stepped out from behind a concrete column. "So this is what you've been doing?" His voice was cold, hurt. Jordan looked confused. "Who's this?" "Her boyfriend." "Ex-boyfriend," I corrected, my heart racing. "Marcus, what are you doing here?" "I wanted to see you, but I guess you've already moved on." "That's none of your business." "Everything about you is my business, Jenna. We spent 3 years together." Jordan stepped slightly in front of me. "Hey man, she said you're her ex. You need to leave. This doesn't concern you." "It does when you're harassing someone in a parking garage." Marcus's face went red. "Harassing? I'm harassing her? I'm trying to save our relationship and she's out here with random guys." "Relationship's over, man. You need to accept that and move on." "Don't tell me what to do." Things were escalating. I could feel it. "Jordan, can you call building security?" "You're calling security on me?" Marcus looked devastated, angry. "This is what we've come to?" "You followed me to a parking garage." "Yes, this is what we've come to." Security arrived before things could get worse. They escorted Marcus out while he yelled about how I was ruining both our lives, how I couldn't just throw away 3 years, how I owed him more than this. Jordan stayed with me until I was calm enough to drive. "Are you okay?" "I'm sorry. I had no idea he'd..." "Don't apologize. That guy's not okay. You should report this to the police." "And say what? My ex showed up in a public parking garage?" "It's stalking, Jenna." Well, maybe it was. But I didn't want to deal with police reports and statements and making it all official. I just wanted it to be over. Jordan texted me the next day. "Hey, you seem really nice, but I can't get involved in this situation. Your ex seems unstable." "I'm sorry." I didn't blame him. I thanked him for being honest and deleted his number. Marcus had cost me a potential relationship, cost me the chance to move on. And he'd done it on purpose. I went back to the lawyer. He followed me on a date and confronted me in a parking garage. That's stalking. File a police report. Get a restraining order. It's for self. Strong, I filed the report that day. Gave them copies of everything from my file. The letters, the emails, the notes about his attempts to contact me. The officer taking my statement was a woman in her 40s named Officer Reyes. She listened to everything, took notes, looked at my documentation. "This is good," she said. "You've been documenting. That helps." "Will it be enough for a restraining order?" I asked. "I think so. He's established a pattern of unwanted contact. He's shown up at your home, your workplace, followed you on a date. That meets the criteria." "What happens next?" "We'll file for an emergency protective order. If it's granted, he can't contact you at all, can't come within a certain distance of you, your home, or your workplace. If he violates it, he'll be arrested." "How long does it take?" "Usually within a few days." She was right. 3 days later, I had a temporary restraining order. Marcus would be served with papers, and we'd have a court hearing in 2 weeks, where a judge would decide whether to make it permanent. I felt relief and dread in equal measure. Relief that there was legal protection now, dread about what Marcus would do when he found out. He called from a blocked number that night. I should have known it was him, but I answered without thinking. And then he called from a restraining order. He was yelling, "You got a restraining order against me?" "You left me no choice." "No choice. I was trying to talk to you, trying to fix things." "You were stalking me, Marcus. You followed me on a date?" "I wanted to see if you were serious about moving on, and you were." with some random guy who doesn't even know you. That's exactly why I need the restraining order. You don't get to monitor my life anymore. This is insane. You're treating me like I'm some kind of criminal. You followed me. You called my work. You left letters on my door for weeks after I asked you to stop. What would you call that? Strong parenthesis. Fighting for us. There is no us. That ended when you started your situationship. Everything since then has been you not accepting reality. I made a mistake, and I made the decision not to forgive it. That's my right. You're going to regret this. My blood went cold. Is that a threat? What? No. I mean, you'll regret giving up on us. On what we could have been. I already know what we could have been, and it wasn't good enough to stay for. Goodbye, Marcus. Don't call me again. I hung up and immediately called Officer Reyes. He just called me from a blocked number. Yelled at me about the restraining order. That's a violation. Save the call log. I'll add it to the file. The court hearing was surreal. We sat on opposite sides of a courtroom. Marcus with a lawyer he'd somehow afforded. Me with the free legal aid attorney the court had provided. The judge reviewed all my documentation. The letters, the emails, the police report from the parking garage incident, the record of him calling my workplace, the blocked number call from the night he was served. Marcus's lawyer argued that he was just trying to communicate with someone he loved, that his behavior was persistent but not threatening, that the restraining order was an overreaction. My attorney presented the pattern, the escalation, the refusal to respect boundaries, the parking garage confrontation. The judge took about 5 minutes to decide. Mr. Briggs, Ms. Whitmore has made it clear through multiple channels that she doesn't want contact with you. You've ignored her requests repeatedly. You've appeared at her home, her workplace, and followed her on a date. This behavior constitutes stalking under state law. The restraining order is granted for 1 year. You are to have no contact with Miss Whitmore. You cannot go within 500 feet of her, her residence, or her workplace. Any violation will result in immediate arrest. Do you understand? Marcus stood there looking devastated. Yes, Your Honor. Miss Whitmore, if he contacts you or comes near you, call the police immediately. Don't try to handle it yourself. I understand. Thank you. We left through different exits. I waited in the courthouse lobby with my attorney until we were sure Marcus had left the building. You're safe now, she said. If he violates this, he'll go to jail. Most people don't violate restraining orders. Most people aren't Marcus. She looked at me seriously. Has he ever been violent? No, never. He's not violent. He's just obsessive. Obsessive can become dangerous. Be careful. Vary your routine. Pay attention to your surroundings. I left the courthouse feeling like I'd won something and lost something at the same time. I had legal protection now, but I also had confirmation that my ex-boyfriend was someone I needed legal protection from. This is Revenge Stories, a home for quiet courage and true endings. If you feel my words, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Help us build this community so we can bring more interesting and exciting stories for you from around the world. Your help is much appreciated. Your voice matters here. Your story matters too. The restraining order worked. For 2 months, I heard nothing from Marcus. No letters, no calls, no parking garage ambushes, just silence. I started to relax. Started to believe I can actually move on with my life. Then I got a call from Patricia, Marcus's mother. Jenna, honey, I heard about the restraining order. I'm sorry. I know he's your son. Don't apologize. I'm calling to tell you I support you. Marcus told me his version of events, and then I asked around and got the real story. What he did was wrong. Thank you for saying that. He's getting help. I insisted on it. He's seeing a therapist, working through his issues with obsession and control. That's good. I hope it helps him. Me too. But I wanted you to know that I don't blame you for the restraining order. You did what you had to do to stay safe. That's important. We talked for a few more minutes. She asked how I was doing, if I was happy in my new place, if I was dating anyone. Normal questions. Kind questions. When we hung up, I felt grateful. His mother understood. That mattered more than I expected it to. I started dating again. Nothing serious. Just coffee dates and dinners. Getting comfortable with the idea of letting someone new in. I met someone named Xavier at a friend's birthday party. He was a teacher. Funny, kind, completely drama-free. We clicked immediately. Our first few dates were easy, natural. He knew about Marcus. I'd learned to be upfront about the restraining order situation. Some guys ran when they heard. Xavier didn't. So your ex couldn't take no for an answer, he said over coffee. That's the simplified version. And you got a restraining order to protect yourself. Yes. Good. That was smart. Shows you know your worth. I liked him. More than I expected to. We started seeing each other regularly. Nothing intense, just steady. Comfortable. 3 months in, Xavier asked if I wanted to be exclusive. I said yes. It felt right. Safe. Different from Marcus in every way. Xavier didn't need to find himself. He knew who he was. He didn't take mysterious trips alone. When he traveled, he asked if I wanted to come. He was present, honest, uncomplicated. Everything Marcus wasn't. We were at dinner one night, 6 months into dating, when Xavier said, "I think I'm falling in love with you." My chest got tight. Not in a bad way, in a scared way. That's fast. Is it? We've been together for half a year. I know, I'm still working through some things. From Marcus? Yeah. Trust is hard for me now. I get that. I'm not going anywhere. Take your time. That's what I needed. Someone patient. Someone who understood that being cheated on and stalked leaves marks that don't heal quickly. Dr. Morrison was proud of me. You're setting healthy boundaries in this new relationship. That's growth. I'm still scared, though. Like it could all fall apart again. That's a normal response to betrayal trauma. But you can't let fear stop you from connecting with people. What if I choose wrong again? Jenna, you didn't choose wrong. Marcus deceived you. That's different. You can't protect yourself from deception by being paranoid. You can only trust your instincts and walk away when something feels wrong. My instincts didn't work with Marcus. Your instincts told you to leave the moment he confessed. That's exactly what they were supposed to do. They worked perfectly. She was right. My instincts had saved me. I'd listened to them then. I could trust them now. 1 year after the breakup, Aaliyah threw me a party. Not a celebration of the breakup exactly. More like a celebration of survival. Of rebuilding. My new apartment was full of friends, people who'd supported me through everything. Xavier was there, comfortable in the space, comfortable with me. We'd said I love you by then. It had taken me 8 months to say it back, but I'd meant it. Aaliyah raised her glass. To Jenna, who showed us all how to walk away with dignity and build something better. Everyone drank. It felt good. Not like I'd won something, but like I'd survived something and come out stronger. Tyler showed up late. I was surprised to see him. We hadn't talked since I'd threatened the restraining order. "Can I talk to you?" he asked. We stepped out into the hallway. "What's up?" I asked. I wanted to apologize. For pushing you to talk to Marcus. For not taking your side sooner. I was wrong. Okay. He's not doing well, just so you know. The therapist says he has attachment disorder. He's on medication, working through a lot of stuff. I'm sorry to hear that, genuinely. But it doesn't change anything. I know. I'm not asking you to forgive him. I just thought you should know he's getting help. Thank you for telling me. Strong. You look happy, with a new guy. Strong. I am happy. Good. You deserve that. He hugged me quickly and left. Xavier was waiting inside. Everything okay? Yeah, just closure. The kind you don't expect, but need anyway. Strong. Want to talk about it? Strong. Not really. I just want to be here. With you. With everyone who matters. Then that's what we'll do. We danced in my living room to music from someone's phone. Ate too much pizza. Laughed about stupid things. It was perfect. Simple. Mine. Lying in bed that night, Xavier asleep beside me, I thought about the video call from a year ago. Marcus's face on my phone screen. His confession about the situationship. How my whole life had cracked open in that moment. I'd lost a relationship, an apartment, savings, time, energy, peace of mind. But I'd gained something too. Self-respect, boundaries. The knowledge that I could walk away from something that wasn't serving me. The confidence that I could rebuild from nothing and create something better. Marcus had given me 3 years. Some of them good, some of them lies. But I'd given myself this year. This apartment, this life, this relationship with Xavier that was built on honesty instead of deception, that was worth everything I'd lost. The restraining order expired after a year. I didn't renew it, didn't need to. Marcus had honored it, stayed away, moved on with his life. I heard through mutual friends that he'd moved to a different city, was dating someone new, still in therapy, doing better. Good for him, genuinely. I didn't wish him harm. I just didn't wish to be in his life anymore. 2 years after the breakup, Xavier and I moved in together. A new place, bigger, ours from the beginning. Both our names on the lease. Both of us contributing equally. Partnership instead of power imbalance. I thought about Marcus when we signed the lease. How different this felt. How I wasn't giving up my space to move into his. We were creating space together. Equal footing from day one. Xavier caught me smiling as we unpacked boxes. What are you thinking about? How far I've come. 2 years ago, I was living on an air mattress in an empty apartment, rebuilding my life from scratch. Now I'm here, with you, in our place, and I'm happy. I'm happy too. I don't think I ever thanked you. For what? For being patient while I figured out how to trust again. For not being intimidated by my baggage. For being exactly what I needed when I didn't even know what that was. He kissed me. You don't have to thank me for loving you. That's the easy part. We finished unpacking, made dinner in our new kitchen, fell asleep in our new bedroom, started the next chapter of our lives. 3 years after the breakup, I ran into Marcus. Total accident. We were both at a mutual friend's wedding. Different plus ones. Different lives. He looked good, healthy. His date was pretty, seemed nice. He seemed genuinely happy. We made eye contact across the reception hall. He nodded. I nodded back. That was it. No conversation. No drama. Just acknowledgement that we both survived and moved on. Later, his mom found me. Patricia and I had stayed in touch over the years. Holiday cards, occasional phone calls. She'd apologized repeatedly for Marcus's behavior, and I'd repeatedly told her she didn't have to. You look beautiful, she said, hugging me. And Xavier seems wonderful. He is. How are you? Good. Really good, and Marcus is doing well. I don't know if you heard. I'm glad. I want to thank you for getting that restraining order. It was the wake-up call he needed. He got help, really worked on himself. He's in a much better place now. That's good to hear. So he's not the same person he was. I think the therapy helped him understand why he behaved the way he did, process the rejection in a healthier way. Actually, everyone deserves a chance to grow. You're very gracious, more gracious than he deserved. I'm not gracious. I'm just over it. Whatever anger I had is gone. I'm just happy with my life now. That's evident. Xavier adores you. I can see it. We talked for a few more minutes, then parted ways. I watched Marcus from across the room, laughing with his date, dancing, living his life. I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no lingering feelings. Just neutral, like looking at a stranger who happened to share some of my history. Xavier found me. You okay? Yeah, why? That's your ex, right? The one from the stories? Yeah. Wanna leave? No. I'm fine, really. That's someone I used to know. That's all. You're sure? I'm sure. We stayed, danced, celebrated our friends, had a wonderful time. Marcus being there didn't affect my night at all. That's how I knew I was completely over it. He was just another person at the wedding, nothing more. 4 years after the breakup, Xavier proposed. Simple, perfect, just us on a weekend trip to the mountains. No grand gesture. Just him asking if I wanted to build a life together. Forever this time. I said yes, without hesitation. No fear. No wondering if he'd meet someone on a trip and start a situationship. Just certainty that this was right. We got married a year later. Small ceremony. Close friends and family. Patricia came. She and I had become genuinely close over the years. Marcus wasn't invited. We both agreed that chapter was closed. Standing at the altar, looking at Xavier, I thought about how differently things could have gone. If I'd taken Marcus back after his parking garage ambush. If I'd believed his promises to change. If I'd let guilt or history or 3 years of investment keep me in a relationship that was already over. I would have been miserable. Spent years trying to rebuild trust that could never be rebuilt. Wasted more of my life on someone who saw me as a backup plan. Instead, I'd walked away, rebuilt, found someone who saw me as the plan, the only plan, the person they chose every day. That was the difference. Dr. Morrison came to the wedding. She'd been with me through the whole journey, from the first numb sessions to the angry ones, to the healing ones, to the happy ones. I'm proud of you, she said at the reception. You did the work. I had help. You showed up and did the work. That's what matters. Look at you now. I looked at Xavier talking with my friends, at Aaliyah making everyone laugh, at my family celebrating with me, at my life, built from the ashes of something that had seemed permanent, but wasn't. I'm happy, I said. Actually, genuinely happy. You deserve to be. I did. I really did. 5 years after the breakup, Xavier and I had our first child. A daughter. Beautiful and perfect and ours. Holding her in the hospital, I thought about all the versions of my life that could have existed. The one where I'd stayed with Marcus. Where I'd forgiven his situationship and spent years wondering when he'd do it again. That version of me wouldn't have this baby, this life, this happiness. Xavier kissed my forehead. You're crying. Happy tears. Just thinking about how grateful I am. For what? For everything. For you, for her. For the courage I found 5 years ago to walk away from something wrong and toward something right. I'm grateful too. For you saying yes when I asked you out. For you letting me in despite everything you'd been through. Our daughter yawned and stretched in my arms. So small, so new, so full of possibility. I made a promise to her silently, to raise her to know her worth, to teach her that walking away is sometimes the strongest thing you can do, to show her that endings can be beginnings if you're brave enough to let them. This is Revenge Stories, a home for quiet courage and true endings. If you feel my words, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Help us build this community so we can bring more interesting and exciting stories for you from around the world. Your help is much appreciated. Your voice matters here. Your story matters too. 6 years after the breakup, I'm writing this, not for revenge, not to hurt Marcus or drag him through the mud, but to tell other women that you can survive betrayal, you can rebuild, you can find something better. Marcus and I are both living completely separate lives now. From what I hear, He's married to the woman he brought to the wedding. They seem happy. Good for them. I mean that. But sometimes I still get messages. Not from him. From women going through similar situations. They find my social media somehow. Tell me their stories. Ask for advice. I tell them all the same thing. Trust your gut. Set your boundaries. Walk away when you need to. Don't let anyone convince you that protecting yourself is cruel. The situationship could have destroyed me. The stalking could have broken me, but instead, it taught me that I'm stronger than I thought, that I can lose everything and rebuild something better. That endings, painful as they are, can lead to beginnings I never imagined. My life now bears no resemblance to my life 6 years ago. Different apartment, different partner, different career trajectory, different level of happiness and peace, all because I made one decision on one phone call, to not accept being someone's backup plan, to value myself enough to walk away. That decision led to a restraining order, and legal fees, and months of fear and uncertainty. But it also led to Zadir, to our daughter, to this life I wake up grateful for every single day. So to anyone reading this who's in a similar situation, you can do it. You can walk away. You can rebuild. You can find better. You are worth more than situationships and complications and partners who can't decide if they want you. Choose yourself, every time, without apology, without guilt, without looking back. The rest will follow. To Marcus, if you're somehow reading this, I hope you're well. I hope therapy helped. I hope you're treating your wife better than you treated me. I hope you learned and grew and became someone worthy of the love you're receiving. But mostly, I just don't think about you anymore. You're a chapter in my story. An important one that taught me valuable lessons. But just a chapter. Not the whole book. The whole book is still being written, and it's beautiful, and it's mine. And it exists because I had the courage to close your chapter and start a new one. That's my story. That's my revenge. Not hurting you back. Just building something better without you. Living well really is the best revenge. And I'm living very, very well. Thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this community where we share our stories and support each other through the hard parts and celebrate the good parts. If you're going through something similar, you're not alone. You're stronger than you think. You can do this. And if you've already done it, if you've already walked away and rebuilt, I'm proud of you. Keep going. It keeps getting better. Your voice matters here. Your story matters too. And sometimes the quietest courage, the courage to simply walk away, is the most powerful kind.